Hello, hello. And she told me that I was faking it. Doesn't have a cure. It felt like a death sentence. Hi. So as you can see by the title of this video, I wanted to talk about my journey with chronic illnesses. It's a little bit of a heavy topic, but I hope I can make it a little bit lighter, maybe. So I guess I'll start from the beginning. When I was little, around age maybe 16 or 15, I started getting these terrible period cramps. I would feel like I couldn't move. I would get cold sweats. I would force myself to stand up and my legs would be trembling, like they would give out. My back hurt a lot, all of my muscles. And so my mom took me to the gynecologist. That was the first gynecologist that I've ever gone to, and she told me that I was faking it. She did some blood tests on me and basically said that everything was normal and that everything was fine and that I just didn't want to go to school. And so, of course, my mom, listening to a doctor telling her that, of course, she believed her. So my mom trusted that doctor, and so I went another year with these terrible pains, and one day I puked from the pain. It was too much for my body, and my mom said, okay, it's time to go to another gynecologist. So this was my second gynecologist. I thought he was going to dismiss me like my last gynecologist, and I was so worried, and I went there and he did some blood tests, of course the thingy echo, I don't know what it's called. And I was worried that he was also not gonna believe me, but then he told me I had endometriosis. And at first I was so relieved because I could finally tell my mom, like, see, like it was true. I had something, like I wasn't faking it. This was happening and it was something real. And I had gone like maybe 2 to 3 years feeling that intense pain. Yeah, because I got diagnosed at 18, so it was definitely 2 to 3 years. The thing is that the more years that I had my period, the more the cramps would hurt, and also outside of my period. Does that make sense? I would have my period for a week, like 7 days of bleeding, and it would be like 6 days of heavy bleeding, and then the last day of like small bleeding. Little bleeding? A little bit of bleeding. Okay. But then for the next 3 weeks, I would feel cramps and I would be so confused because I would tell my mom, like, these feel like period cramps, but I'm not on my period. And it's not for another 2 weeks. And she would be like, oh, like, maybe you ate something wrong or whatever. But I would be like, I know my body and I know how it feels. I'm telling you, it's a period cramp outside of my period. And so when I went to this new gynecologist and he did more blood tests and just the thing, and I told him this, he told me, you have endometriosis. And I was like, I felt so seen. I felt like finally they're giving me something, like we can work with this. I can fix this, you know. It's something that I'm going to be able to take some pills and then just get over it. And then he told me like endometriosis doesn't have a cure. And so for little 18-year-old me, like 3 years ago, it felt like a death sentence because I felt like I'm gonna feel these pains for the rest of my life and nothing is gonna make them go away. There's nothing I can do and I'm just gonna live with this debilitating pain every single day of my life because the pains came and went without me knowing when. Some months I would have pains every single day, and then the next month it would be maybe a couple of days. My pains would be very irregular, all over the place. Like if I had a birthday coming up or something, an event, I wouldn't know if I would be able to go to that or if I would be bedridden because I felt so terrible. And so my gynecologist told me, like, don't worry, we're gonna work on pain management. So not a cure, there is no cure. It's pain management. And I felt horrible, but I thought, let's give it a go. I remember I cried so much that week. I told my mom, like, this is never gonna go away. Like, this is horrible. Like, why do I have this? Like, what did I do, you know? And it's just something that happened. It's not like I did something wrong or ate something wrong or whatever. Like, I just had it. I forgot to explain what endometriosis is. If some people are watching, they don't know. It's basically when you have a period, so the walls of your uterus are preparing for a baby, so it has like blood and nutrients and all that, and so it falls over, and that's when you bleed. And so I would form those blood walls inside my uterus, but also outside in other places of my body, so like in my legs, in my lower back, around other organs. So it's basically like internal bleeding. So nice. I was internally bleeding, so of course I couldn't fucking move. It felt like dying because it was basically dying, you know? What they do with endometriosis patients sometimes is that they stop their period so that they don't bleed internally, but they keep their ovulation phase. So basically when you reach the age of menopause, you stop ovulating because you have a specific number of eggs in your system. And so when you run out of those eggs, you stop your period and you get menopause and you age a little bit more rapidly. So if you stop a teenager's period or their whole phase of ovulation and then the period, they're gonna age. So you basically give endometriosis patients something to stop only the bleeding phase, not the ovulation phase. I want to conserve my youth, you know? So for the first month, my gynecologist gave me this, what's it called? Birth control pills. And he told me like, okay, we're going to try these out. And I tried it for a month. It didn't do anything for me. Like I still had my period. I still had intense pains. And then I went the next month to my gynecologist and he gave me another set of pills, different pills, and I just felt so defeated because I was like, another month I'm gonna have to go through all of these pains. The pills are not gonna do anything or whatever. And then they worked. He gave me pills that stopped my period and I was pain-free. Of course, it came with a downside, and that is that the pills are so fucking expensive and I have to take them for the rest of my life. What the fuck? So again, I spiraled and I was like, I'm never gonna be able to afford these. Of course, I am so grateful that my parents can pay for these, but there's gonna be a time in my life where I cannot go back to my parents and be like, can you buy me my pills? Like, I'm gonna have to pay them for myself. And here in Ecuador, the pills are like $70 US dollars the box. The box is for a month. Imagine paying $70 a month to just not feel excruciating pain. And so when I went to Spain, to Madrid, because I am Spanish also, I went to like the public doctor. Is that how you say it? Social security. Okay, so I went to the doctor over there because it's free, and I told my main doctor, because she's the one that has to like give me a gynecologist and give me all these other doctors. I told her I have endometriosis and I wanted to get checked with a gynecologist over there, see if they can give me my prescription of my pills with maybe like a discount or something over there. And she looked at me in the eyes and she went, no, you don't have endometriosis. What are you talking about? And I was like, what? She told me, I'm not gonna refer you to a gynecologist unless I know 100% that you do have that. So you have to get me your doctor's diagnosis from Ecuador, signed and everything. And I was like, first of all, why would I lie about something so specific? Second of all, if I were lying about having endometriosis, I still need to go to a gynecologist to get checkups, even if I don't have anything. Like I should, okay. So I had to make another appointment for the next week and gave her my signed diagnoses from Ecuador. And then she referred me to the gynecologist, and I went to the gynecologist and she told me like, hey, I want to try these new pills with you. And I was like, first of all, this is my first time seeing you. You haven't even done any blood tests or anything. She just did the machine thingy, and you want to change my prescription that I've been taking for the last 3 years? And she was like, yeah, I want to get you on these new birth control thing. And I was like, no, what? Can you please just give me the prescription for the pills that I've been taking for the last 3 years that have been working perfectly, and maybe a discount, please? I'm a student, I don't have money. And she was like, no, come back in 6 months after trying these new pills that I will give you, and then maybe if you're not doing well with those pills that I give you, you can go back to the pills that actually helped you. And I was like, I'm not gonna take those pills. And she didn't care. So I'm still paying $70 per box of these pills, and I can only buy them in Ecuador because I don't have the medical what's it called? I don't have a prescription in Madrid, so I cannot buy them over there. This is great. I love doctors that don't fucking care about you. I love that. They're so nice. Like, they just know what they're doing, you know? And so that's my current situation with endometriosis. But it doesn't stop there. Nuh-uh. It does not. Around like 3 years ago, I started getting these like clicking noises on my jaw, and sometimes my jaw would like lock up and I wouldn't be able to open my mouth to eat, and it would be really hard for me and painful to eat. And I was like, okay, what is this? And I had a mouth guard after getting my braces taken out, like when I was 16 maybe. And so I went to my dentist and I told him like, hey, this is happening. And he told me like, oh, let me get you a new mouth guard. It's just because the old one is like old. And I was like, okay. So I got my second mouth guard. And that didn't do shit. And so I went to another dentist. And she told me like, oh, it's because you need another type of mouth guard. And so she gave me a silicone mouth guard. So that was my third mouth guard. And it was like very thick and rubbery and stuff. And she told me like, you only need to wear it at night. So I would do that, of course. And then it didn't do anything. And my jaw started clicking even louder. It would get stuck way more than before. Like before it would be like maybe once a week, and now it would be like once a day. And so I went to another dentist and she told me like, oh, it's because of your, what's it called? It's because of the position of your mouth when you're closing and your teeth are touching. So she filed down some of my teeth randomly, and then she gave me another mouth guard. So we're like 4 mouth guards in. I think we're four, maybe, I don't know. So she gave me this thick plastic hard mouth guard. Only wear it at night, and I couldn't close my mouth completely at night, so I would drool before I was even asleep. Like I would be awake, I would know that I was drooling, and so I couldn't fall asleep because I would be like trying to not drool because I thought it was fucking gross. Now my sleep is fucked up too, and my jaw is getting even more tense and it's just hurting every single day. I can't eat anything hard. I can't eat apples. I can't eat candies, like hard candies or anything like that. I'm regressing back to a baby, you know, like soft foods and like very tiny bites because I could barely get it into my mouth. And so I went to the last fucking doctor. All of these 4 mouth guards happened between the last 3 years, you know? Last year, when I arrived at Madrid and I got my free healthcare thingy, I told my doctor, the one that fucking sucks, that didn't believe me about my endometriosis, I told her about my jaw clicking, and you know, I didn't need a diagnosis from Ecuador because my fucking jaw was clicking so loudly that I could literally just open my mouth and she would hear it like 5 meters away. And so she was like, okay, that is definitely true. I'm gonna send you to get some x-rays or whatever. I went to get some x-rays. Of course, it was like a week to get my appointment to see her, and then 2 weeks to get my appointment to get my x-rays. And when I finally got the x-rays, I had to get another appointment to go back to see my doctor so she could see the results of the x-rays, so she could derive me back to like another doctor with which I would have to get another appointment 5 months later. And so I got my appointment with my maxillofacial doctor, with the doctor for my jaw. And I asked my main doctor, like, hey, I can choose the date for my appointment, right? Because I'm going to go back to Ecuador in these dates. So I'm not going to be in Spain for a couple of months, but then I'm going to go back. So I need the appointment to be on those specific dates. And she was like, yeah, you can choose the date for your appointment, of course. And then she gave me a date when I was not in Spain, and I missed that appointment. And I could not call her because I don't have her number, only she has my number. And I would get appointments with her and she would cancel them. So I couldn't change the date for that appointment, and I missed it. Fucking free healthcare is so nice. I love it. I fucking love doctors that don't want to fucking work. I love it. And so when I came back here a couple of months ago, I was desperate. Like, I literally cried to my parents and I was like, I feel so much pain. It's unbelievable. Like, it really is. And so by that time, I had already watched a lot of YouTube videos and researched a lot about TMJ and all of this. I also discovered it doesn't have a cure. You can make it better with pain management, but you cannot cure it. And so I spiraled back into, fuck this shit, I'm gonna feel this pain in my jaw for the rest of my life. I'm gonna have to take other pills. I'm gonna be poor because I'm paying all of these fucking pills that are so expensive or whatever. And so I went to this last dentist with low expectations and zero hopes of actually getting better, but we were told that this dentist was specialist in TMJ. TMJ is the joint that holds your jaw to your skull. It's a double joint. It's the only joint in your body that is like double jointed. So basically, if you fuck up one side, the other one is also fucked up. So like you have joints in your knee, but if you fuck up your left knee, your right knee is gonna be okay, you know? But in the jaw, it's just one thing. So, and people are also like always throwing out like surgery, get this, the implant or something or whatever. It's a lot. I said, okay, I'm gonna go to this dentist. But before I went to my last dentist, my mom had heard from a friend of hers that also had this TMJ pain that she got Botox in her muscle, her jaw muscle, to like relax it. Because TMJ pain, it's basically like the muscle of your jaw is working overtime. So it is contracting a lot, and that is making the disc in your jaw pop out, something like that. The thing is that it's fucking painful. And so I went to get Botox in my face. I hate needles. That was horrible. Actually, it didn't hurt that much. Like, she had a good hand. But yeah, I got Botox in my muscle. It didn't do shit for me. My jaw was so tensed and so contracted that 20 days after I got my Botox that I had to go back to the doctor to get my refills or something like that. She told me like, oh, you're gonna have to get like a lot more, like this is doing nothing. And so she did my refills for free, and another 20 days passed, and I told my mom like, I think this was like placebo for me, because like for a week I swore it worked, and now I'm back to the pain. So I think this is not working. And so I went finally to my like fourth or fifth dentist, I think fourth dentist, but I got my fifth mouth guard. And I was so mad when he told me like, oh, you're gonna have to get a mouth guard, because I was like, fuck no, I've had 4 other mouth guards, that shit doesn't work for me. And he was like, well yeah, they didn't work because like they didn't know how to fucking do mouth guards. They were just taking impressions of your teeth and then giving you a piece of plastic. I'm gonna take impressions of your teeth and then add to that piece of plastic something so that you can close your mouth but like your teeth are not touching, so like something like to relax my bite. And then you're gonna get a second mouth guard, which I'm not gonna charge you for, with the right bite for you. And I was like, okay. I literally sat in the dentist chair and cried. It was kind of embarrassing. It was embarrassing, if I'm being honest, because I just felt so overwhelmed of just like, this is not going away. Like, this is fucking painful. This is hurting my everyday life. Like, I can't fucking eat. I want to eat and I can't. Like, I can't eat a fucking apple. You're telling me another mouth guard, so I feel like all hope is lost. But then he's like calming me down and being like, hey, I'm not gonna charge you for both mouth guards, only for the first one. He even gave me like a discount. Like, he was so nice about it, because he saw how like stressed I was. Nothing was helping me. And so apart from the mouth guard, he gave me like exercises to do. So it was basically like biting into a piece of plastic that was thick so my teeth weren't touching, and then applying some like hot compress on the sides of my jaw. So I would grab like a little hand towel and put it on hot water, like just wring out the water and then put it on my face to like decrease inflammation or something. And I think it works. I've been wearing this new mouth guard 2 or 3 weeks. I have to wear it 24/7. I am not wearing it right now because I am recording this video, but I should wear it 24/7, and I do wear it 24/7. In previous videos, you can see like when I'm vlogging, sometimes I say something and it sounds kind of weird. It's because I'm wearing my mouth guard, and I do feel less tension on my jaw, and I've been able to eat comfortably. And it just feels like such a huge win. I still haven't gotten my second mouth guard. I don't know when I'm getting it, but I just really hope that this works, because this fucking sucks, you know? Chronic illnesses suck. Of course, I feel like very blessed, because it's like I'm always thinking it could be worse, but sometimes it just feels nice to just let it all out and be like, this really fucking sucks, you know? This is not nice. I hate having this, like, multiple chronic illnesses, no cure, like, this sucks. So if you're going through something similar, or like you have a chronic illness, yeah, it fucking sucks. Of course it could be worse. I'm not saying it couldn't, but damn, it sucks. So I have to wake up every single day and know that if I don't take my little pill, I'm gonna bleed internally. And if I'm not wearing my mouth guard, I'm not gonna be able to eat because I can't get food into my mouth. It's annoying. I try to keep a positive outlook and whatever. Trust your body and trust your gut. You know what feels right and what feels wrong. Like, I wasn't believed, and it fucking sucked. So if you think you have something and you know you feel weird, it feels something wrong in your body and the blood tests are coming back normal, get a second opinion, get a third opinion. But like, I just feel like you know. And hopefully you are believed and your doctors take you seriously, and hopefully your doctors are better than mine, because like, talking about percentage, most of my doctors sucked ass. Fortunately, my last doctors have been great, but the first one sucked ass. There's not a lot of research about endometriosis, you know, just in general women's health. Love that. Thank you so much, sexism, for that. Maybe in a couple of years, a new study's gonna come up and be like, actually taking the pills that you're taking is gonna give you cancer or kill you or something. I don't know. And I'm gonna have to stop taking it. Hopefully not, because I really like the pills. I don't get my period. It's great. I can get into the pool any day I want. See, that's me trying to look at the positive side of having a fucking chronic illness. Sometimes I just need to calm down and be like, yeah, it fucking sucks, okay? No positive side. It just fucking sucks. Okay. Well, I do hope that you can see a little bit of a positive side to whatever your situation is, because it sucks living with a chronic illness, but it is what it is, and I hope you can manage your pain, and hopefully we evolve as a society and find fucking cures. Hopefully. I'm very grateful that I am able to exercise and move my body and do all of these things right now, because I remember when I couldn't. I remember when I was bedridden because I felt these terrible pains, and so every day I wake up now and I am like so grateful that I can run, that I can just go outside and walk or just lift heavy weights, because there was a time in my life in which I couldn't even move. Like, it was so painful. I enjoy food now, because there was a time in my life in which I couldn't even bite my food because it was so painful. I would have to cut my food into such small pieces, and even then I couldn't eat hard foods, like only soft foods. Now I am able to enjoy it again. I enjoy eating now, and I don't know, I am grateful for that. Hopefully you get your diagnosis and you are believed and understood and heard. I hope you are heard. Bye bye.